This is Shannon Berg, and this is the Lone Wolf, Jeremiah Harper, and we're here doing an interview today. And I got a couple questions for him. We're gonna break down into this and see what he says. Okay, how do you see yourself coming into this fight compared to your others?
Uh, how do I see myself coming to this fight compared to others? I'm excited for this fight more so than others because of who I'm fighting. I'm fighting Jay Page. He's a local legend in MMA. Been fighting for years. Way before the sport was illegal to fight in Tennessee, he had to go to Kentucky and fight a lot of fights, and when he first started out and stuff like that, before it became legal in Tennessee. So he's like a local pioneer.
Yeah.
He's fought. He's had a lot of tough fights. He's a tough guy. He's fought some of the best guys around the region, like I have.
Right.
He said that he's had 17 fights. I've had 15. He's been fighting longer than I have, but as far as cage time experience, we're pretty close. So I'm excited to be fighting Jay Page.
Right. Do you feel more focused after coming back after some time?
Yeah, it's been a year and a half since I fought last time. Yeah, I do. I needed a break. I got to the point where I was fighting so much and so often that it was, like when you first start fighting, you would get nerves going into a fight.
Right.
You would get nervous. Well, I got to a point that I wasn't feeling no nerves hardly, and everything was becoming stale to the point that I was almost bored with it. You know what I mean? No, I don't know how to explain. Like, I needed the time off to refresh, fall in love with the sport, get excited again. Like, after this year and a half off of not doing it, I'm excited to fight again. I'll feel the nerves coming back a little bit, even though the experience is still there and I know what to expect. But yeah, I'm excited. It refreshed me. I hit the refresh button.
Good deal. After this fight, are you looking forward to any other opponents you have in mind at all?
I'm only focused on Jay right now. I don't have anybody in mind.
Good idea.
So Jay Page is the focus right now. That's the only thing I'm working on.
Have you been studying any film on your upcoming opponent, or have you seen him fight so much that you pretty much assume his game plan?
Yeah, I know his game plan. That's the one thing I'm confident going in this fight. I know what Jay Page wants to do. I know the only way Jay Page can beat me is one round. I'm not going to let it all out right here. I don't want to let everything out, but I know what his game plan is. I'm pretty confident in my game plan going into this fight as well. Yeah, I have studied his film. I've seen him fight a few times in person. I have went back and watched him on YouTube. Recently, I watched a few times him fight Sam Burns. We both have fought Sam Burns.
Yep.
He had a great fight with Sam Burns. Actually, Sam Burns was beating Jay Page the whole fight. He was dominating him. It was a 3-round fight. Then, like the last 10 seconds, 15 seconds of the fight, Jay Page caught Sam in a guillotine and finished Sam and got the win.
Yep.
He showed a lot of heart in that fight. That's one thing going into this fight I expect from Jay Page is to show a lot of heart. I don't think he's going to bend or break easily. I'm going to have to break him. You know what I mean? I'm going to have to put it on him.
You got to work.
Yeah.
When was your last Black Diamond beatdown fight?
It's either January or February, sometime in that area of 2016. I fought CJ Glenn. A freak accident happened where I was coming in to hit him, and he threw like a little jab, not a hard jab, nothing crazy. He just threw a jab, and I ran into it, and he hit me on the nose, and it opened up a cut inside my nostril, up in my nostril, which caused blood to drain down the back of my throat and out my nose and my mouth.
Make it hard to breathe.
Yeah, it was hard to breathe. I felt like pretty confident I was going to win the fight. Like, skills wise, I'm a lot better than CJ Glenn.
Yeah.
I rocked him right after he hit me fat. I hit him with a big right overhand. That dropped him down. Then I was hammer fisting him. Once I was hammer fisting him on top when he was on the ground, I noticed the blood spraying out of my nose onto his back.
Just like a river.
Yeah, I mean, it was pouring. And So my mindset went from going from attack to oh shit. I kind of panicked because I've been busted open before in fights before, to where I was bleeding a lot of stuff.
Right.
But that's the first time I ever had blood coming out that like that. You know what I mean? Where it was spraying
Yeah.
and going down the back of my throat, and I was gargling. Like he didn't submit me by, I guess on paper, as he submitted me standing up by a choke, but honestly, he wasn't choking me as much as I was hoping. He had my head tilted to a certain angle to where the blood was going down my throat, and I was gargling the blood. I was choking on the blood. So.
Yeah, that's definitely.
It was a freak accident. I feel like 9 times out of 10, I whooped CJ Glenn's ass. So just throw that out there on record.
Right, I feel you. What's your philosophy that makes a great fighter?
Well, my favorite fighter is Nick Diaz. I love his fighting style. I love how he smothers you with his boxing. He stays on. He ain't hitting you with hard punches. He just stays on you and smothers you. Don't give you a chance to breathe. Another reason why he's my favorite fighter is not just because of his fighting style. I love his fighting style. I respect his fighting style. But because his personality outside the cage, he keeps it real. He speaks his mind. And if he feels like he's being fucked by the promoters or whoever, he lets it be known, and I respect that. So realism is a big thing to me. You got to be a real fighter, like a real inside the cage and outside the cage.
To put on your face.
Yeah, no fake shit. That's what I look into a great fighter.
And also, what's the advantage and disadvantage of being your own trainer?
The advantage is, this is a good fun fact. Training by myself, my record is 5-2. I got 5 wins, 2 losses. That's an advantage. I feel like I could train how I want to. I could focus on what I want to. The disadvantage, I'm a hard person to coach. I'll be the first person to admit that. I'm hard to coach because there's only one coach in the region that I respect that I'll let coach me, and that's Casey Oxidine. Casey Oxidine knew how to deal with me. He got through to me. So I would let Casey Oxidine train me, and I'll listen to Casey and take orders from Casey. A lot of these other coaches that I train with, and I train with a lot of people around here in the Tri-Cities area, they just don't know how to reach me. They want to change me.
Yeah. And
you can't do that. You can't change a fighter. Like Bushido MMA, where Jay Page was a coach at, and I guess he's fighting out of there. I trained there recently, and the problem I have with those guys, they try to change my personality. They try to make me bow, be respectful to my opponents, and that ain't what makes me tick as a fighter. What makes me tick as a fighter is the shit talk. Getting pumped up, being me, letting loose, letting that gangster out legally. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's my format to let that bad stuff built up in me out legally.
You just can't like tell a fighter you got to do this separate from what they've grown up being. You know?
Yeah.
You got to build them from the ground up from where they're standing as they're staying still.
Right.
It's just not that way.
Right.
Is there any fighters around this area that you've seen fight that have never fought before? Would you? Who would they be and why?
Repeat that.
Sorry.
I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Is there 2 fighters around this area that you've seen fight that have never fought before? Who would they be and why?
So what are you saying?
Like 2 fighters that you might have saw at Black Diamond that have never crossed paths yet? Who
that would be a good fight?
Yeah.
2 fighters that would be a good fight. That's a good question. I'm trying to think.
If you can't think about it, we can move on to the next.
I know at the pro level around here, I like to see Chandler Cole, which I think he fights at 205. I like to see him and Dustin Long fight. I think that'd be interesting.
That's not a bad idea.
That'd be a good fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have the wrestler versus Chandler Cole being a wrestler. He's going to take you down and look the ground to pound and smother you with wrestling. Where Dustin Long flows like water.
Yeah.
And what I mean by flows like water, he'll let you take you down, but he's gonna throw some elbows. He's got long limbs, long arms, long legs. He could probably get a submission if he wanted to. He could probably reverse you and get on top and land some bombs with his elbow and stuff and do some ground pound stuff. So that'd be an interesting matchup.
Hey promoters, y'all need to think about that one.
That's good.
Alright, if there ever was a 2v2, 2 versus 2 MMA fight, and you was a part of it, who would you want fighting on your side?
2v2 MMA. So you kind of talking about like what Casey Oxendine does with Team Battle or Battle MMA or whatever it's called, where they do 2 versus 2. Who would I want my part? Well, it'd have to be somebody in the same weight division. So at heavyweight, trying to think of who would be a good heavyweight partner for me.
And if you can't find no one local, anyone.
Just to compliment my style of fighting, he's not really a heavyweight, but he probably walks around at heavyweight. Gage Stanley.
Gage Stanley?
I would like to have somebody like Gage Stanley because he's a real good submission guy. He's the best submission guy I've fought yet so far.
Yeah.
I'm a striker. I got good strikers, so I feel like we'd be a good dynamic duo because of his submission skills and my striking ability. You know what I mean?
Right. If you had your own gym, what would you call it?
What would I call it? Well, I have me and you know this. Me and Jay Morris had our own gym at one point in Lynn Garden.
Yep.
It was Kamikaze Combat. So probably something around like that, Kamikaze Combat.
Around the Kamikaze?
Yep.
Okay. If you had your own promotion fight events, what would they be called?
Well, that's actually in the works. It's going to be called Lone Wolf Promotion.
Lone Wolf Promotions?
Lone Wolf Promotion.
Y'all be looking out for that.
That's right, man.
Alright, I think I got 1 or 2 left here.
Yeah.
What stands out about you different from other fighters?
I put on a show. Win, lose, or draw. Every fight I've been in has been exciting. I get the crowd into wanting to see me fight, whether it be through the talking I do when I, back and forth with my opponents leading into the fight. When it's game time and I make my entrance to the cage, I'm coming. I let it be known I'm coming. I demand attention, and I do stuff that surprises a lot of people with the spinning back fist, the spinning heel kicks. For a heavyweight, they don't expect me to do. So I do stuff that you don't expect. I'm a tenacious fighter with a tenacious personality, and I think that's what separates me from everybody else.
Right. And is there any last words you'd like to give our viewers here?
June 9th, me and Jay Page, the Laughing Assassin, it's going to be a bloodbath. Make sure you tune in. Wise, Firegrounds in Wise, Virginia. Fight start at 7 p.m. June 9th. We are the main event for the Black Diamond Beatdown Heavyweight Championship. Make sure you check it out. I feel confident going in this fight. Like I said earlier, I know Jay Page's game plan. I know my game plan. The winner's going to be whoever asserts their game plan and who successfully asserts their game plan. And I'm pretty confident in my conditioning, my size advantage, and skills. I got this.
And that's the interview, folks. This is Jeremiah Lone Wolf Harper and then Shannon Burke. Tune in for our podcast coming up soon.
Bad Moon Rising.
Bad Moon Rising.
Hey.